Political party. A group of persons who seek to control government through the winning of elections and the holding of public office. Major parties. In American politics, the Republican and Democratic parties. Partisanship. Government action based on firm allegiance to a political party. Party in power. The party that controls the executive branch of government. Minor party. One of the political parties without wide support. Two-party system. A political system dominated by two major parties. Single-member district. Electoral district from which one person is chosen by the voters for each elected office. Plurality. In an election, the number of votes that the leading candidate obtains over the next highest candidate. Bipartisan. Supported by two parties. Pluralistic society. One consisting of several distinct cultures and groups, like the United States. Consensus. General agreement among various groups on fundamental matters, broad agreement on public questions. Multi-party. A system in which several major and many lesser parties exist. Coalition. A temporary alliance of several groups who come together to form a working majority and so to control government. One-party system. Where only one party exists, also called a no-party system. Incumbent. The current office holder. Faction. A conflicting group. Electorate. All of the people entitled to vote in a given election. Sectionalism. A narrow-minded concern for, or devotion to, the interests of one section of a country. Ideological parties. Parties based on a particular set of beliefs, a comprehensive view of social, economic, and political matters. Single-issue parties. Parties that concentrate on only one public policy matter. Economic protest parties. Parties rooted in poor economic times, lacking a clear ideological base, dissatisfied with current conditions and demanding better times. Splinter parties. Parties that have split away from one of the major parties. Ward. A unit into which cities are often divided for the election of city council members. Precinct. The smallest unit of election administration, a voting district. Split-ticket voting. Voting for candidates of different parties for different offices at the same election. Suffrage. The right to vote. Franchise. The right to vote. Transient. Person living in a state for only a short time, without legal residence. Registration. A procedure of voter identification intended to prevent fraudulent voting. Purge. The process of reviewing lists of registered voters and removing the names of those no longer eligible to vote, a purification. Poll books. List of all registered voters in each precinct. Literacy. A person's ability to read or write. Poll tax. A special tax demanded by states, as a condition of voting. Gerrymandering. The drawing of electoral district lines to the advantage of a party or group. Injunction. A court order that forces or limits the performance of some act by a private individual or by a public official. Pre-clearance. Mandated by the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the prior approval by the Justice Department of changes to or new election laws by certain states. Off-year election. Congressional election that occurs between presidential election years. Political socialization. The process by which people gain their political attitudes and opinions. Gender gap. Measurable differences between the partisan choices of men and women today. Party identification. Loyalty of people to a political party. Straight-ticket voting. The practice of voting for candidates of only one party in an election. Independent. A term used to describe people who have no party affiliation.